see Ken. Ken, are you there? Can
I
you see
am.
me?
I am,
Awesome.
Jay. You got me?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I've got one. I've only really got one. Let me see if I can advance this slide once. Um, a, a, a picture I want to share with you, and then ask some questions. So let's do that. Let me share my. See if I can do this. I'm juggling about 5 screens here, so forgive me if this seems like it's a little clunky, because you know what? Truth is, it is a little clunky. Here we go. Share screen from here. So Ken, what I'm trying to share right here is a current slide. If it says snappy visuals, then I'm on the right slide. Is that what y'all are seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's perfect.
Perfect. Ken, we've talked about this in the past, and Terry brought this up a second ago when he talked about, you know, how cotton shirts are made. And so we're hoping with the time that we have, which I know isn't too much, but we've got something on the left and something on the right. One looks a little scratchy and fuzzy. The other one looks a lot better. Maybe because you are truly the cotton whisperer, you like to go deep on cotton, Ken. Maybe you could talk to us. What's going on with this? What do you see, and what should we know?
Yeah, so Terry touched on this, you know, in his opening statements. Simply put, all T-shirts are not created equal. Combed ring spun cotton is really what's going to be best for direct to garments. And if you look at this image, on the right-hand side, you're looking at a yarn that is combed ring spun. On the left, carded open end. You can clearly see the difference, and everything that Jeff and Terry just spoke about, you can see how the combed ring spun is going to give you a much better surface to print on. You know, I use the analogy, you know, an artist painting their masterpiece, you know, they're going to be better served painting it on a quality canvas. And that really is what the shirt is in the DTG process.
Yeah, every time I see the fiber on the left, I think, ooh, that's scratchy. I don't want that near me. But you know what's interesting is, as you see those little fibers poking up, Roy did a good job explaining to a few of our clients once that that's going to start to absorb ink. And so the ink is going to have a hard time laying down and getting that symmetry that we want. Even though the Epson F2000 and F2100 have a superior inkjet head that drops really teeny tiny micro droplets, you know, even that, if we don't have that smooth surface like you talked about, Ken, if everything isn't just perfectly, you know, woven, literally, then we start to see the ink spread, or it almost like start to blot out. So
right.
Interesting stuff here. So what else should we know in terms of how this applies to you and Cotton Heritage?
To that point, you know, the ink is going to sit on some of those loose roving fibers as opposed to getting on the shirt itself. So you're going to lose some of the clarity, some of the detail of the image that you're printing, and the image is not going to last as long. You know, you're wash after wash, you're going to see some degradation of that image because it's not, you know, it's not set on the garment, it's set on the loose fibers above it. So again, everything we do with Cotton Heritage, combed ring spun cotton, combing the cotton and using the ring spun process, you're going to get a longer, smoother yarn. It's going to be a more durable yarn and ultimately better to print on. And it just will, you know, it will hold up and it will last longer. The next step that we use is an enzyme wash. And what that does, it is literally a wash that cleans the fabric of those loose roving fibers. So the fibers that weren't caught in the ring spun process, that could be just sitting on the garment at that point, are literally washed away and leaving no residue. So again, you have a very clean surface to print on. Again, most of what we do, 100% cotton. We do have some cotton poly blends, but everything is going to be cotton rich. So it's going to absorb those inks that you guys are referring to as well in the printing process. So again, the key is the image is not sitting on top of the shirt. It's actually getting into the garment itself, into the knit of the garment. Everything we do also, we use a compacted yarn in a tighter knit. So again, a smoother, cleaner surface. Simply put, just better to print on, and you're going to get a much better result.
Yeah, that's excellent. I appreciate that enzyme wash. that's something I often forget is another reason. People ask us all the time, Ken, they, because they come up and see what we're printing on. They want to see what we, the actual shirt, and they're like, oh, Cotton Heritage. And then immediately they say, well, is that the 1082? Like, they already know.
Right.
So it's been an interesting ride. And truth be told, for those of you that are all tuned in, of course we love Ken, of course we love Cotton Heritage, but the reality is if a better engineered t-shirt came on board, we would be authentically, we would still love Cotton Heritage, but we would be able to add that to the list. We're in pursuit of the great substrate. And right now, Ken, your team has cooked up the perfect recipe. So our team here at Equipment Zone and those of our clients love printing on that shirt.
Yeah. So I mean, your words are perfect. What I'll normally say when I'm at a trade show, we're usually in close proximity to you guys. You send us customers, we will send you customers. I mean, the joke I use is that they're printing on our shirts not because they like us. It's because the shirt works for them. The shirt.
We do like you, Ken. We do like you.
And believe me, we like you guys too. So that's the humor in this. It's about the shirt literally making your machine look as good as it can. So that's the key. It is critical that the DTG customer, the DTG printer, knows that each shirt is going to print somewhat differently, and it's all about the knit and the design of the fabric. With our factories, anytime we're going to make or look to bring in either a new product, a newer weight, the 1082 is our 5.5 ounce. We have a 1040 that is a 4.3 ounce fabric. Earlier this year, we launched a heavyweight tee, and all of the research and development that goes into that is just looking at, again, tighter knit, combed, ring spun, compacted yarns. And we always want to check, how is it going to print? How does this hold up in the DTG process? So it's something that we look at anytime we launch or develop a new product.
So I have another question for you, thinking about that in terms of, it seems like Cotton Heritage is mostly cotton. I'm just curious, do you have a poly product or a blended product?
We have blended products, but again, they're all going to be cotton rich. Everything is going to be, cotton poly. So, if we're going to do something in a heathered yarn, to achieve that look with a heathered yarn, it has to be a cotton poly blend. But we're always going to be looking at mostly cotton. Never say never, but, we have no plans at this point to, develop a 50-50 product.
Gotcha.
We do look and look at developing tri-blends, but, our core is 100% cotton and a cotton-rich blend, cotton poly. So it's all about just that great soft hand, and cotton is just an amazing fabric. I mean, it's so comfortable. It's really what most people think of when they think of a t-shirt is that, soft, just comfortable cotton fabric.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. So I ask on behalf of others, even though it seems like, Jay knows the answer to this. The thing that comes up a lot too is besides t-shirts, like what else is there that Cotton Heritage is known for? Now, we've done a ton of testing here in Tempe, and thank you for sending over so many great hoodies. We've done, even though it's summertime, we've had at least two that I can call off the top of my head, two other webinars where we were printing live, and we used your product, and it printed fantastic. So what's some of the engineering that goes in behind that hoodie? Is there a cotton face to it, or how does that work?
Absolutely, and I appreciate you asking that. That was a great segue, because that was going to be one of the points I really wanted to talk about. On our fleece, it's a 3N process, so it's a 3N yarn. So it's a blend again. All of our fleece are cotton poly. We have no 100% cotton fleece. By design, that's going to be challenging. It's not going to perform well. You'll see excessive shrinkage if it were 100% cotton in a fleece. So all of our fleece, 3N process. It's 3 yarns, 2 polyester, and those polyester yarns are wrapped with cotton. So that's what gives you the term cotton faced. And when you're touching the garment, the top layer of that garment is going to be cotton, even though it's a blended garment. So you get a couple of things with that 3N yarn. You get great stretch. So the garment's comfortable to wear, easy to put on, easy to put off. It's not like it becomes a wrestling match trying to get that hoodie off. And it gives you, again, a great surface to print on and a great hand because you're touching mostly cotton. So again, even though it's a blend, you're printing on cotton, so you have the same attributes as a 100% cotton t-shirt that we just talked about. It's going to perform better within that DTG process.
Perfect. I love how you worded that, and that's important to us, obviously, in this craft of inkjet printing technology. To the person that asked about pre-treating hoodies differently, yes, you do use a little bit more. Go ahead and watch the videos and the webinars on our website that we have. We have two, one with a zipper and one that's a pullover. Both of those were Cotton Heritage hoodies, and Roy does a really good job of explaining how to set those up. You can watch those videos. So as we were about to wrap up, Ken, thinking through this in terms of what else is on the table, I know for a fact that there have been some new products and new things, and something that might be covering my face that you guys have been involved in recently.
We did, obviously with this pandemic, our factories were very quick to move into masks. So we've made a couple of versions of a Cotton Heritage face mask, again, using that fabric that we use in 1082. So it's a 5.5 ounce, 20 single. So it's got a great hand to it, great printability, but most importantly, it's a good mask and an effective mask to wear while we're going through what we're going through at this point in time. So like a lot of others, we got into the mask business. We have two versions, around the ear loop, and then we have a full head with the full elastic headband. Pros and cons to both. People that generally have to wear them for a longer period of time prefer the full elastic headband. It's just more comfortable than having it looped around your ears. It's also easier in an environment where you're having to take it off and on. You could just pull it down and it just sits around your neck. The ear loop, sometimes you see people, they don't know what to do with it when they take it off. They put it down in a place maybe they shouldn't. It just becomes more cumbersome for them to deal with, and that's it.
So Ken, where can people find Cotton Heritage? Why don't you wrap up with telling us how, a lot of folks ask about distribution model and all that. We don't really have too much time, but where can they go to find you? There are going to be a lot of our listeners and watchers, viewers that want to know more and maybe get a sample. What should they do?
So our current model, we like controlling our destiny, I'll say. We like managing the brand and managing the product. So we are not sold through distributors. You are working direct with us. So, pros and cons of that. You're working direct with us. You're coming direct to the source. We can also work with you on private label programs. We have the ability to do, really anything from a private label standpoint. Warehouses in both California and Virginia. So our turn time to most of the country is within 2 to 3 days. We're in the process and will very soon be opening a location in Texas. So once that location is up and running, we're covering the entire country within a 2-day ship window, which is critical to our customers. So that's really something that we're looking to launch probably in the fourth quarter of this year. And again, like I said, our feeling is that it allows us to control our destiny, control our product, better customer service, and we're just closer to it by keeping control and not moving to distributors.
Well, excellent. Love it. Thank you so much, Ken. Stick around. You are definitely going to be one of our expert panelists. For those who have more questions, unfortunately, we have to keep to our schedule. So if you do have a question, or if you did type something into the chat, we're not ignoring you. We're going to try to get to some of those towards the end when we have everybody joining us. I want to make sure now that I leave time for Terry, who's coming on board. Ken, so if you can mute your mic and
you can turn your... Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate
appreciate you having us. Thank you for being here.